Right black at you, right black at you, right black at you. This is the Fuel Proud of For Real TV. I'm hoping my sound is good. I'm hoping my sound is good. I'm hoping my sound is good. Okay, here we go, here we go, here we go. Good evening, everyone. This is the Fuel Proud of For Real TV. And of course, I'm your host, Raheem the Dream Brother, known as Top Cut. And welcome to another episode of the Fuel Proud of For Real TV. Uh, the topic for tonight is, where is the glue? Where is the glue? And of course, this is Thursday, so you know who topic this is. This is Miss Elliott's topic. I'm gonna have her in here in a few seconds here. First of all, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Um, Hope everybody had a good, prosperous day, and I hope you are fine. I hope your family are fine. Peace and black power to all my brothers and sisters around the world. Um, I'm hoping people tune in. If you want to come in, leave comments. Leave comments. Subscribe to the channel. Tap that subscribe button. Hit that little bell so you get all the notifications. And of course, thumb up the video. Thumb up the video. Thumb up the video. Um, I don't know. Where's the glue? Where is the glue? You ask me, we need some super glue around this joint. We need some super glue around this joint. Because I'm thinking what she's talking about, what she's going to be talking about, is us sticking together. And we need super glue. You understand what I'm saying? We need super glue. But I already know, no matter what kind of glue you use, if the mindset ain't there, it ain't going to happen no way. The mindset is the problem with my people. The hatred for one another. The hate that you have for yourself. That's why these young folks is acting out the way they acting. They acting the way they acting because what they got from home. And I ain't gonna say all of them. I'm not gonna say all of them. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying all of them. But I say 95% of them. I guarantee you 95, I say 97% of them come from a single parent, mama. But that's another topic. But I guarantee you that. I guarantee you that. Okay, so I'm gonna send the link, and we're gonna get Miss Elliott in the house here. Because it's a known fact that if you look it up yourself, 75% of the young men in prison come from a single mother home. 70 to 75% of them come from a single mother home. I ain't gonna say single parent. I'm gonna put I'm gonna lay it where it lays at. Single mother home. Single mother home. Single mother home. I'm putting it where it lays at. Okay. We're gonna give Miss Elliott time to get into the building. And wow, here she goes. She ain't wasting no time getting in, did she? She ain't wasting no time getting in. All right, all right, all right. What's going on? Your YouTube got to be on your
Yeah,
phone.
just cut it off just now. Sorry. Woo! 'Cause, 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 'cause
Okay, I know this is your topic. Where's the glue? We need super glue.
Yes.
We need super glue. But like I was saying before you came on, it wouldn't matter if we had super glue or whatever. If the mindset don't change, it ain't gonna happen anyway. It's not gonna happen anyway. The hatred we have for one another and all that there, the jealousy and envy, you understand what I'm saying? If that don't ever get under control, we'll never do nothing as a race of people. But I'm gonna leave it right there. I'm gonna give you a full screen. I'm gonna go on mute and you can give your introduction.
Okay. Thank you. Good evening, everybody. My name is Marietta Elliott, and I am your co-host tonight. And my topic is something that's definitely necessary. And I am sure that when people first heard about glue, um, we think of repairing things. And that's exactly what this is all about. One thing that I tend to know for a fact is that when we break something, especially if it is something of value, we are quickly to go and look for some sort of glue, some sort of remedy to repair this particular piece. And the one thing that I have seen us do, we are duct tape masters. We will go get some duct tape and we will tape some stuff up to make things work for us until we can actually replace it or get it fixed. And I find that a very interesting thing that we value so many material things that we will not hesitate to bend over backwards to make things fit. Make things work for us. And we don't like anything broken. We don't like anything broken, whether it's our car, whether it's a window, whether it's a glass, a special plate, a picture frame. For some odd reason, that sends us into a space of, oh no, I can't believe this happened. And we're quick to, as I always say, and I'm sure several Black people have said, we need to nigger rig something up. If we don't have glue, if we don't have tape, we'll find a way. If it boils down to using an extension cord, or a rope or a bungee cord. Like I put a bungee cord on my lawnmower because I needed the wheel to stay in place. So we put in a lot of efforts to replace or repair what we value. And I want us to take that energy. And as Raheem said earlier, yes, I'm definitely talking about the glue to the family. We need to take that energy and put it back into our families, into our blood, into the people that we spend time with and that we love, or just our Black race in general. And one thing that I have learned is that, when the matriarch of the family passes on, that is like the glue that keeps the families together. That is the thing that we have gotten away from. And I don't know if we're not thinking about the older person in the family just stepping up and taking over. I mean, you run your family. You become that matriarch, and everybody should be coming to you for advice. If you have walked in those shoes as far as your role of success, and you've raised some families, and you've been instrumental in other kids' lives, that's what makes you become the matriarch. It's not always that older person in the family, but it's the person who has given that guidance, who has passed on a lot of wisdom, and is not afraid to step in and say to that family member, hey, this is not the way Big Mama would have had things going. And now that I'm in charge, we're not going to have that. So I want some people in the audience to really tune in on this situation and talk about the glue in your family. My mom has been gone for soon to be 14 years. And, that was like the end of everything, so to speak, in reference to people coming over on Glenboro and eating on the holidays. And my sister has taken on that role. Though she is the baby sister, she has taken on the role of bringing family and bringing friends to the house to have dinner like my mom did. And that's a beautiful thing. And whenever I get that invitation, I show up because I should be there. I should be there because she cares enough to keep that family tradition going. I've never been much of an entertainer, but my sister definitely walked in my mom's shoes with that, and that's a beautiful thing. So I want some people that's out there in the audience to join in and tell me, are they the matriarchs in the family? And if you don't want to be the matriarch in the family, I'd love to know why. Because that's part of what's going on with our Black families is that we don't have that glue anymore. We don't have that glue. And I want us to try to talk about that. I want us to put that on the table because the glue is something that we need to be doing for everybody, not just our family members, but the people that live in our neighborhood, people that we have come in contact with, perhaps on a job or in church. I mean, we got to come together. We need to put our differences aside and we need to respect the differences and be able to move into a space that's going to bring our families back together tightly. And like Raheem says, we need super glue. We need something stronger than super glue. Most definitely. We most definitely need to do that. And yes, the mindset to bring the families back together is crucial. It is absolutely crucial. And if there's someone out there in our race that believes it's not crucial, I want to hear from you tonight. And I'd like to hear why you don't think it's crucial. And I'd like to know what role you play in your own family's lives. And that might be your immediate family, like your children. So let's get together and have that conversation. I'm hoping that I get a lot of people out here with some feedback because the For Real team is bringing families back together. That is on the top of our list to save our babies. So if there's someone out there that has an idea as to what happened to the matriarchs in the family, because I know that there are still some seniors. And are they turning a blind eye? Or what is going on here? Because I'm practically the senior in my family. And, in so many indirect ways, I've always been the senior in my family. And that's always been an important role. And I always have said to my nephew, I am your aunt. And I will be your aunt if I'm in my grave for 50 years. My position will never change. So all of the matriarchs that have passed on are still the matriarchs of the family. And that means someone else has to step in and carry on that person's legacy. That's exactly what that's all about, is stepping in and carrying on the legacy for the rest of our family members. So Raheem, of course, you hit it right on the head when you were talking about the mindset and the.
Yeah, well, you'll find these days the matriarch will be hated. It's hated these days.
Oh boy. Ooh.
You understand what I'm saying? That's because the matriarch don't go for the bull crap. You understand what I'm saying? So everybody else is going for the bull crap. You don't go for the bull, then you kind of be hated.
Oh boy.
People want to go along and get along. You dig what I'm saying?
That's a good point.
I ain't on that. I'm gonna tell you what it is. And you can not like me, hate me, or whatever. You understand what I'm saying? Right. And I really don't care if you come around me. You understand what I'm saying? Because you can bet I ain't trying to come around you.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? But it's a shame that it has to be that way. If you make a stand, you're disliked. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
See, it's just like where I live at. For years, you know, I was kind of disliked to the young, to the you know, the younger boys. Now all of them like me now. The ones that's still around.
Right.
Most of them dead or in prison doing long bits. You understand what I'm saying? But the ones around now, you understand what I'm saying? That's still around. You dig what I'm saying? You know, they come up to me. You know what I'm saying? And say, "Oh, gee, man, you never stop, man." You understand what I'm saying? Because they watched me when I first moved over here, and I haven't changed. I made a stand, and I still stand doing it.
That's good. Yeah. That's what's
I stand 10 toes down because I'm gonna stand 10 toes down. You see what I'm saying? I'm not. You're not going to disrespect my property and think I'm not going to say anything.
Right.
I mean, that's just what it is. I mean, but that's what was put into me. That was put into me because I come from a community. I didn't come from a neighborhood or a hood.
Right.
I come up in a community. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And I still have them values.
Right.
Them values is not like today.
No.
Them values is not like today. You understand what I'm saying? Right. You know, just like I was talking to a woman, this was like last week, and she was talking about snitching. And I told her, somebody that's not in the game, say you got an elder person live next door to you, and she sees somebody breaking in the house across the street, and she called the police. And I asked her, I said, "Is that snitching?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, how's that snitching?" She's looking out for her neighbor.
Right.
How is that snitching? I say it's evident in the echo or something.
You said that last time, but I don't know.
I don't know what's going on. But I told her it's you all has lost the true meaning of snitching. See, if a person is a law-abiding citizen and they live by the laws, and they see something and report it, that's not snitching.
No, it's not.
Because they're not in the game.
Right.
Now, if you're in the game and y'all tell on each other, then yeah, that's snitching. Because that's the game. That's the snitch game.
Right.
In my book, you're a bunch of cowards anyway. But this snitching thing is way out of whack. You know, it's way out of whack. I can remember younger, we got caught in a stolen car. We had guns.
Oh,
we had guns. We was kids, we had guns. But you know what? The police asked us, "Is this your gun?" I ain't say nothing. He asked all three of them, "Your gun?" Nobody said nothing. Nobody said nothing. See, this is what you got to remember. It's 3 kids in the car. I think we probably about 14 to 15. 3 kids in the car, 3 guns. I don't think we had to say anything. It's 3 guns, 3 people. You understand what I'm saying?
It just kind of go together, right?
There you go.
Kind of add up a little bit.
We didn't say nothing.
Yeah.
There's 3 guns in the car. We know everybody getting a gun. Everybody getting a gun. Matter of fact, everybody getting 3 guns. Because that's how they charge you. Everybody getting charged 3 guns apiece.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's the way that goes. That's called over-indicting you. They over-indict you. Like you might have you can have 1 count of assault, but when you get your indictment papers, you will have 7 counts of assault. Even though you only assaulted 1 time and 1 person, because that's how they over-indict you. That's to try to make you plead at least one. You understand?
Oh,
that's the system. That's the crooked system. Okay. Now, I'm gonna give you another instance. One time, me and another guy riding in the car. We older now. We ain't got no stolen car, but we in the street. I said we had drugs and guns. Police get us, pull us over. Cause we in the hot zone. If you gonna sell drugs, you got to be where the drugs is being bought at, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So they pull us over. We dirty. Pull us over. We dirty. Up under my seat, I got drugs. Up under his seat, he got a gun. So the police say, "Well, whose drugs is these?" I say, "Mine." "Who gun is this?" My dude says, "It's my gun." Because you know what? We was brought up that way. We was brought up that you signed the contract. You signed this contract. When you go out there in the streets, you signing the contract. Now, something happened in the street, we do it, I get away, and he get caught. Now, if he telling me, then that's snitching. You understand what I'm saying? But see, I'm breaking this down to this younger girl, and I could see the blankness on her face because it's obvious the snitching thing haven't been taught to her.
Right.
It's just stuff they just learn in the street, but it ain't been taught the right way.
Okay.
See, as we came up, I don't care what you was doing. If you was doing something legit or illegit, it was somebody older teaching you the game, though. You was taught it. Okay. That's why when the game went from the dope man to a dope boy, the game went to hell. Cause what do a boy know?
Right.
Boy don't know nothing. And that's why you got what's going on now. That's why you got what's going on now. There's no mentorship. Even in the streets, in the 70s, in the 80s, early 80s, let me say early 80s, because that's when it started going to hell. In the middle of 85, 86, it started going to hell. It was a mentorship. So I can remember in the 70s, late 70s, you had to know somebody to get certain type of drug. You had to know somebody. You didn't know nobody, you couldn't get them. Only thing I'm saying is that the mentorship has been lost in everything. And I'm not trying to push the streets, I'm just saying that everything. Right. I'm saying, just like you had a football coach that taught you how to play football, you had coaches and everything. Your parents was the coach to teach you right manners. That mentorship is gone. These kids raising themselves. Little kids tell me. I know guys, man, 12, 13 years old, they say the rappers raised them. I'll be like, what do you mean? They say because their mama wasn't there. So all they did was listen to rap music. So the rap music raised them. So they did what the rappers said do, not what their parents said do, because the parent was not there. So they do what the rappers say do. The rappers say pop pills, they pop pills. Rappers say rob and steal, they rob and steal. I'm telling you what I talk to out here. See, I'm in the field where it's real. I'm in the field where it's real. It ain't no glue out there. Well,
that's the very reason why.
That's it. Not even between the two that's out there together. They thinking on how they gonna cross each other.
Sad.
I'm just saying that's what's out there now. You see what I'm saying?
That's unfortunate. And that is the very reason why I chose this topic, because, you're bringing some clarity to the world of snitching. Because I had no idea when you reference the law-abiding person versus the one that's, you know, in cahoots with each other. I never thought about it in that avenue, and that's real good clarity. That is real good clarity, because it is important that we do know the difference.
You have to know the difference.
It's important. Clarity, you know, really, really opened up my eyes. I never thought about it that way.
You have to know
two different areas.
Right. Now you want to do something to this old woman because she called about you breaking in her neighbor's house.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Now y'all want to shoot her house up.
Right.
Or something stupid. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
When she's doing what she's supposed to do.
Exactly. Because I would want the same thing for me. If someone saw someone breaking into my house, my neighbor, I would expect for my neighbor to do something about it. At least call the police.
Because that's the right thing to do.
Or call me on my cell phone and say, Marietta, this is what's going on across the street. I've had that happen over here. They've called me to say what was going on.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you know, I mean, that's the thing, you know, but I'm just saying, if you're not in that gang, they ain't snitching. They law-abiding citizens.
That was some good clarity.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that the people that's listening, the young folks that may be listening, they got some clarification right now.
Yeah. Because she was, you know, shaking her head like, you know, she never heard that.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? She never heard that.
Right. So, and hopefully when she hears someone talking about someone being a snitch, she'll be able to step in and say, and get clarity as to what they were snitching about.
If you want to see some snitching, watch that what's that thing on they have on TV where them young boys just be telling on each other? Something investigation. First 48 or something. First 48.
Oh, okay.
I think it's called the First 48.
Yeah, I know about that show.
Yeah. You know, them little niggas, they let me take that. Well, that's what they are. A nigga is a nigga. Black man is a black man. Black woman is a black woman. But anyway, they don't be in there 2 minutes before they start telling. If 2 minutes.
Right.
Okay. I'm gonna tell you what really happened.
So this is the thing. I gotta ask you the question. When you were coming up, there was a code of respect and however you wanted to label it. So, like in the world of today, you know, how come they're not smart enough to have a code? What has happened?
They haven't been taught. See, you have to remember.
They're so loosey-goosey.
That's because they haven't been raised by men. They've been raised by their mammy.
Excuse me, we're not going to do that.
Well, you asked me.
Well, we're not going to use that word. We're going to say mom. Yes.
So the masculinity is, they don't have any masculinity to be a man. They have no man values. They don't have what I call menstite. And I know you ain't never heard of menstite.
You talk about it.
Yes, menstite. They don't have menstite. Menstite is honor, integrity as a man among men.
Okay.
You have that same among another man. You understand what I'm saying? But that man has to have menstite in order to understand it.
Right.
So you both can have it, so you can have it among each other.
And that makes sense. That makes total sense.
You understand?
Yes, total sense.
Like I said, you knew what it was when you signed this contract. See, I can remember being younger, and the old dude said, look here, man. Now, I'm going to tell you right now. If you walk out of here with that, he said, first of all, let me tell you. He said, you see that blood on that pack? I said, man, blood? I said, man, what blood? What are you talking about? He said, you don't see that blood on there? I'm like, man, what is you talking about? He said, you don't see it because it's yours.
Wow.
Then the next one was.
Wow.
Then the next one was, because that's what the game was then. It was a serious game. Now, the next one was, now, Do you know what go with this? He said, when you walk out of here with this, do you know what go with this? He said, the first thing got to your blood is keeping your mouth shut. He said, the next thing go with this, when you walk out of here with this, is a penitentiary bit, or somebody blowing your brains out.
Oh boy.
For that.
Well, that was a lot to think about, wasn't it?
This how it was broke down to us when we was younger. You understand? So know what it is before you sign this contract. Now, if you walk out of here with this, you know what it is.
Right. Oh, wow.
If you choose to pick it up and walk out, you know, that was cool. I better be careful and think about everything I just told you. Keep your head on the swivel. Keep your head on the swivel. Because the ones you think is with you is the ones that ain't going to be with you. Them the ones going to be against you once you start flipping and start growing. The very ones you feed and help to eat be the ones.
Oh, boy.
See, but all these things was not taught to them. Everything he was saying was a man's value. Everything he said right there was a man's value, what we call men's type.
Right.
And I honored it.
Right.
And even though I was like a kid, he still honored me when I picked it up, when I took care of my business and came back. Bam, you understand what I'm saying? When I took care of my business and came back, he didn't look at me as a kid no more. He looked at me as a man. Because this is man stuff.
Right.
This is man stuff. Okay, let me let you know. Man street stuff. You understand?
Right.
Okay. So you got to remember, I come from a mother and father. You understand what I'm saying? Father that didn't play, the grandfather that didn't play. You dig what I'm saying? You know, they taught me all kind of things. You dig what I'm saying? But I chose to do the things that I did.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You know, I chose to do them things.
Yeah, those are the choices.
Yes, sir.
And bad choices, everybody, you know, have that opportunity to make bad ones. If that's what they want, they're going to do it.
But you have to live with the choices that you make.
I say it all the time. Sometimes you got to live with the decisions you make. Because some of them, you can't just shake them off.
Sure can't.
You cannot shake them off.
You sure can't. You sure can't. So, you know, so that's just, I just wanted to put that out there when you asked me that question. That's what's been lost. That man in their life.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? With what they call a so-called man today, it's not really. See. They may have a father that they see every now and then, but he look like they do. His pants hanging off his butt like them.
Ain't that the God's truth?
If he ain't sitting up smoking weed and stuff with him. You see what I'm saying?
That's terrible.
But I'm just saying, I mean, I don't know this for a fact. You see what I'm saying? But I do know a lot of parents that, you know, sit up and drink and smoke with the kids, and then get mad when they disrespect them. Yeah, I'm just trying to set my life right. It ain't right.
So yeah, one thing that I will definitely say is you know, women tend to raise their children most of the time in a protective state. They want to protect their children from harm's way. And the fear of losing your child in the street is something that most mothers think about. Even though the mom may not be, you know, in a good space as far as being sober is concerned, but I believe that she definitely wants to protect her child. That's a natural instinct coming from a woman and a mother. Yes, there are a few out here that don't care. But I think that when a woman is raising her children all by herself, she is always going to think and want them to be safe and want to protect them. And I think wanting them to be safe and wanting to protect them makes them different out in the world, in reference to being the tough guy that the man would instill in him, or the respect for one man to another instilled in him. And I think that that's a big problem, and it's an instinctive thing to want to protect. So it's very hard for a woman to want to protect and throw her son into the lion's den or her daughter into the lion's den. So I think that that's part of what happens, is instinctively we want them to go in a good direction and to be safe. So Ryan's in the house. He says, hello, Top and Miss Elliott. How you doing, Ryan?
What's going on, my good brother?
Tuning in tonight.
What's going on, my good brother?
I know you have plenty to say. I want to hear from you, Ryan.
You can come in if you want to, Ryan. I'll send you the link because I know you might have a lot to say about that. But if you want to come in, I'll send you the link. But yeah, see, I agree with you 100% there. What's going on is they're making beta males, not alphas. They're making beta males because they figure if they make them a beta male, they got a better chance of living long.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? But society is behind the beta male too. They don't want that strong, aggressive black man.
No. Because he's very intimidating.
Right. But it's okay for the white man to be strong and intimidating.
I know it is horrible.
You understand what I'm saying?
That's why I shut him down every chance I get.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, so they use this so-called black on black crime because it's not a such thing as black on black crime. So when the Mexican kill a Mexican, do they call the Mexican on Mexican crime? Or white man on white man crime, or Chinese man on Chinese crime? You understand what I'm saying? Black on black crime is a political word, it's a politician's word to get into office. That's what it is. It's a politician's word. First of all, okay, we have to start listening we have to listen and pay attention and listen. See, I can see what's happening to us. And I could tell people, and they'll say, oh, no, man, you crazy. Maybe that next year, I see them, they'll be like, damn, Top, you was right, man. You was right. How did you know? You did what I was. I said, man, I ain't trying to say I'm no prophet or nothing. But if you just pay attention,
right,
you can, you know what?
We know the outcome of all situations as you age.
But I'm just not only a situation. If you're out in the street as much as I am, you can see how people moving and how things are moving. Did you hear what I said? I said people and things. What things? What things am I saying when I say people and things?
Well, I think you could be talking about either the music, the cars, clothes. I don't know.
All that. You can see how the things are, the people move and how they react to certain things and what it make them do. You understand what I'm saying? That's the brainwashing that's going on right in front of your eyes. But we don't pay attention, but I do.
Right.
I pay attention. Not only do I pay attention, I can feel things, my vibes, as I call it, my spider sense, like Spider-Man.
Yeah, you always said that.
You understand what I'm saying? My spider sense be tingling.
Right. You always said that.
Man, you understand what I'm saying? And if I look long enough, I'll be like, oh, there it is right there.
Right.
You understand? It's this conscious contact that I have with myself. I'm not gonna say a conscious contact with no name of nothing that everybody like to use. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, you know what? We have a subconscious mind for a reason.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that you have to have a subconscious contact with yourself.
Yes.
Before you, how you gonna look to the sky and you can't even look to yourself?
Well, I'm definitely there. I have that connection.
No.
Right.
We're not talking.
But I know we're not talking about me. I'm just saying in general.
Yeah,
I feel what you're saying. I live it. I live that life.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I live that life every day of my life.
But you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
See, we look everywhere else for things,
Mm-hmm.
but we don't start with ourselves first. See, and that's what I had to learn.
Mm-hmm.
To start with myself first. I forget the name of the pyramid. Before you walk in it, I never been there. I seen it on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And on the top that we put up there, the black man and woman put up there.
Mm-hmm.
It says, "Know thyself." It don't say "Know God's self."
Mm-hmm.
It said, "Know thyself."
Oh, absolutely.
Because it starts with you.
Exactly, and that's and that being said, that's also that level of honesty.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and honesty is a big deal in life. Honesty is the very thing that has caused division, being dishonest. So knowing yourself means you got to get honest with yourself.
Ain't no
That's
question.
a part of knowing yourself.
Yeah.
That's real talk.
Yeah.
And if you can't get honest with yourself, you can't be honest with any situation, not just another person, but any situation. And that becomes the setback. That becomes the number one setback in the black race. Is being able to trust one another and to be honest with one another and be honest with ourselves. That is where our setback comes. And it's a chain reaction. It just keeps snowballing. And it's one thing that I've said several times is no child comes in this world knowing how to lie. Parents teach their children how to lie.
Right. Well.
And they don't even realize they're teaching their children how to lie.
Let's get with it then. These fairy tale books be lies. Teach them how to lie. Well, Santa Claus, the Tooth Fairy.
Right. But
okay.
What I'm saying to you.
No, I'm saying that's
Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy, as you grow older, no one has to tell you it's not real.
But it's a lie though.
But the world of dishonesty is something that you will carry for the rest of your life if you learn that early.
I got you. Anything I'm telling you where it starts at.
Okay.
See, I'm gonna give you the start.
Well, but you know what, Raheem, you say that the books are what starts the lies. But the children can't take a book and turn it into reality. But a child can take what their parents are saying to them, hypothetically, don't be out there smoking weed.
Right. And you said they can't take a book and make it reality?
No, they can't. They cannot turn.
Yeah, they can.
A Tooth Fairy cannot come out of the book
and
visually stand in front.
Okay, I got that. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Because sooner or later, that child is going to realize, without anybody telling them, there's no such thing as a Tooth Fairy. They will stay up all night waiting on the Tooth Fairy.
No. You know when they're gonna find out it ain't a Tooth Fairy? When you stop putting money up under that pillow.
No. Children will stay up all night.
That's when they're gonna find out.
Children
when you stop putting money up under that pillow.
Children will stay up and wait for the Tooth Fairy. And when their mom or their dad comes in there, they'll play possum as if they weren't aware of what their parents was doing. And then the children will confront them. And at that point, the parent is going to say, yes, I am the tooth fairy. I am the tooth fairy. That's honest.
And I'm Santa Claus too.
Okay, exactly. And that's the way it goes. But I'm not talking about that kind of lie.
No, I got you.
I'm talking about the lie when it comes down to, I don't want you to use drugs and you're a drug addict.
But what you got to understand is that where it starts at. See, this is the problem I find with people. We have a problem with going to the beginning to where it starts at. See, listen. You go to the doctor. You got a cold. What's the first thing the doctor gonna ask you?
What are my symptoms?
No. First question they're gonna ask you, how long you had the cold?
Oh, okay.
Then they're gonna ask you about the symptoms. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So what I'm trying to get you to do is make that connection. It's when it started. It's got it to where it's at now.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. But I agree with you 100%. Don't get me wrong. Only thing I try to get people to understand, period. We have to go to the beginning. It's just like when somebody get ready to come to you with some bull crap, and you'll kill it right then, right? You don't even let them get started with it, right?
That's because I'm a grown woman.
No, you're not.
Children ain't gonna do that.
But you're not. No, I'm not talking about children.
Okay.
I'm talking about getting something from the beginning.
Okay.
Kill it before it even gets started. So all that stuff that we used to tell our kids, we need to get away from that and give them the truth from the beginning.
But I would like to say this. When children are born, they are born into a world with a blank mind. And everything that children do in reference to...
Yeah, you paint it.
In reference to stimulating their minds, they have found that there are so many different ways to stimulate children's minds besides just sitting them down and telling them this or telling them that. We learn how to use our minds because of the stimulation that has been given to us. We learn how to identify things because of the stimulation. So that is all a part of nurturing the brain, developing the brain, and giving this brain a sense of direction, a sense of creativity. Because without creativity, where would we be? We need a little bit of creativity to stimulate our brains. If we lived in a room where the only color there was black, then there would be not much stimulation going on, because black is a neutral color. It's not a color of excitement. But when you start putting the colors red in, and green in, and blue in, and white in, purple, that stimulates the mind.
They all come from black.
And but what I'm saying is that when you start to see different colors, there's a form of stimulation that goes on. When you read particular stories, there's a form of stimulation that goes on, whether it's fact or fiction.
It can open your mind.
And so this is all a part of why, children are raised the way they're raised. And it has absolutely nothing to do with nationality. It's about stimulating that brain. And, we have gotten away from stimulating brains, such as, the way the white people stimulate their children's brain is they teach them math. They teach them how to work numbers. They teach them what bank books are all about. The stock market is all about. Any toy that comes into that house is about the numbers. and not about anything else.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about coloring books. It's not about going to see the Princess on Ice. It's about educating them in a sense of knowing what you need to do to be successful in this life. That is the difference. You know, because they spend that time. They don't give that phone to be that babysitter. They're not going to allow society to raise their children. They're not going to be in the bedroom alone with the television. So that's the difference. Their form of stimulation is entirely different from our stimulation from the time the child comes out of the womb. You know, we spend a lot of time with trying to make this child a perfect looking child. We don't want the boys to get dirty. Okay, that's the stimulation. Boys need to get dirty. They need to come in good and motley. They need to smell like little goats when they come in from a day's play. But you got parents that don't want their children to get their tennis shoes dirty. Boys don't want them to get their clothes dirty. Boys. So that right there takes away their masculinity. They can't go out and play like the rest of the boys because they can't get dirty. So this is part of stimulation that a lot of the young parents take that away from their kids. You got on designer clothes, so you can't go out there and get dirty. But at the same time, when you think you're depriving that child and you think that you're doing the best thing for them by buying these designer clothes, you're opening up another door because that need has to be met. That stimulation has to be met. So if I can't go out here and wrestle with the other boys and get dirty, I'm going to bring the stimulation home and into the bedroom on the computer or on the phone. And that creates a monster, in a sense, that you don't even know you're creating. So we have to be very careful with how we are going to stimulate our children. And books and having the things to fantasize about, you know, is another part of stimulation. When you can sit and imagine yourself living in a 6-bedroom home because you just read this book about somebody in a 6-bedroom home, that will encourage you. It should encourage you, if that's what you desire, to move in a direction to get that. And a lot of times when it's something that you really, really want, you only need support as a child. You need someone to help you with what you want to do with your life. That's what's important. That's all a part of the stimulation, getting hooked up with the person that's going to stimulate what you want to do. So we have to be careful when we're thinking about books and using our imaginations, because without an imagination, we would not want that big house on the hill. We would not want to be well dressed. Those are the things that we have to always think about when it comes down to our children. And stimulation is great if we're going to be the ones doing the stimulating. If we're going to take our children out to a museum, we're not going to take them to the museum and sit in the lobby and let them run amok. We're going to take them around and talk to them about what they see in the museum. Those are important things. But we got some parents that want to just drop them off at the movies and be done and pick them up after it's over. And that's a bad stimulation in a lot of ways when they're young. We have to be careful with that kind of stuff. You know, and that's part of, if there's the glue, Big Mama's going to say, no, you don't need to go to that movie. find something else to do. Because that is the way the law was back in the day. If there was something you wanted to do and they didn't think it was appropriate, you didn't argue. You didn't smack your lips. You didn't slam any doors. You went somewhere and shut it down. You got real quiet. But now the children nowadays, they talk back. They throw tantrums. And rather than deal with it, mama just sits back and say, okay, give them what they want. And that's not parenting. That is not using the right glue. Because using the right glue means there will be rules and regulations. That's part of the glue. That's part of the process of gluing the family together. Rules and regulations and learning how to say absolutely no, you're not going to do that. I mean, when I was raising my nephew, you know, I took him downtown and let him see a bum that was actually sleeping in the dumpster and rats were crawling all over him. And I said to my nephew, this is what happens when you don't listen. You're going to be lost and turned out. And that made him think, wow, she actually showed me after she told me about this. I actually physically showed him. And that made a big difference in his life. That impacted him in a way that he was determined to do the right thing. So we talk the talk, but sometimes we have to step up and demonstrate or lay down the law on what we want to see our children do and become. That's very important. So Ron says black on black crime is a code of language. Beware. Oh my God. Yeah, that's true, Ron. That is very true. And, you know, one thing that I say about this black on black crime, and I'm only speaking about the young black man or the young black girl that killed another young black woman or another black guy. That is something that is very upsetting to me. And if you must commit a crime, you need to commit it against somebody other than your own race. If that's where you are in your life. I'm not encouraging it, but what I am saying is what we do to our own people has got to stop. Has got to stop. Every day, all around the clock, every city, there's a black man dying at the hands of another black man.
Yeah, we average about 2 a day here.
And we got to stop this.
We average about 2.
It is absolutely insane.
Every morning I watch the news in the morning. It's 1 or 2. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes 2 and 3 in one night. You know what I'm saying? Found the body here shot. Found the body there shot. You know what I'm saying? Every morning, man. We average. We probably average. I know we average 1 a day, and that's just right here. So you can imagine what it is around the country. Mm-hmm. What you think it is in Chi-Town. Mm-hmm. What you think Detroit. It is in Detroit. You dig what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Or Memphis, because Memphis is off the hook.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you go south, them fools really acting up down there. I mean, no more than what we are up here, but I'm just saying,
it's just too much.
It's just
it's just too much.
All around the world, the same song when it come to us.
Mm-hmm.
All around the world, the same song when it come to us. We last on the totem pole of anything good, and the first on the totem pole for anything evil and create. Well, I ain't gonna say evil, but murder and stealing and robbing. We're at the top of the list on that. Mm-hmm. But creating, building, what are we building? Mm-hmm. That's why I had that one live I had. What are we building as a people? Nothing. Mm-hmm. What are we teaching our kids to build? Nothing.
We are building the Tower of Destruction.
Yeah.
That's what we're building. The Tower of Destruction.
We building.
Now let there be no misunderstanding. That's what we're building. A Tower of Destruction. And that is something that we have got to stop. We got to stop that. The Tower of Destruction. Let there be no misunderstanding. So when we want to wonder what's being built, we better think about the Tower of Destruction. Because we're building that one rapidly without a blueprint. We don't even need a blueprint. All we need to do is have the mindset that this is just a person and it's not nobody in our race. That's what we need to be thinking about. So Mike says, hey, everyone, you guys look great as usual. Thank you. Thank you.
What's going on, Mike? What's going on, my good brother? But yeah, you know, I was having that talk with somebody this past strong end. You know what I'm saying? Because they were so busy getting ready for, you know, football and all that old kind of stuff. You understand what I'm saying? And yeah, that was Friday or Saturday before we had to, you know, did the thing.
Mhm.
And you know, and I was just, you know, I just throw things out there just to see people's reaction.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Because they really don't want to hear.
Mhm.
We so stuck on buffoonery that we don't want to hear anything positive.
Right.
Only positive thing, you know, they want, you know. Man, we're 100 years old, man. We still want to sit around and just talk about sports. That's it. We're 100 years old.
That's part of Brink. That's part of family. That's part of, you know, I didn't grow up in a house where my dad watched football.
See, I
didn't have a brother. But I'm saying, but that's something that has been going on for generation after generation after generation.
I understand that. You don't know who gonna tell me?
No. But what I'm saying to you,
I got what you're saying. If you let me finish,
You done had the floor. You
want to tell me? Let me tell you something. In my family, every weekend we was at somebody had the football game.
Mm-hmm.
Every weekend, somebody had the football game.
Mm-hmm.
You understand me?
Right.
So we was always over somebody's house every weekend, because that's what it was.
And that's what it is still. That's what families do.
I know, but I'm just saying. So what I'm trying to tell you is I'm speaking from experience. You said your family didn't, and I'm telling you mine did. Mm-hmm. So I'm telling you from experience. Ever since I was a little kid, we was at somebody's house for every game.
Mm-hmm.
And then somebody had the Super Bowl. You see what I'm saying? Then somebody had the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And then we was there.
Right.
I understand that. Don't nobody understand it more than me.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not producing anything. It don't produce nothing.
Well, it's a way to get family involved with you know. It's not a good thing what you're saying, but at the end of the day, those football games do bring families together. They have the football parties, the Super Bowl parties. They bring people together, you know. And most men, if he's into football, he has a son. He's going to educate his son to the game.
On football.
Huh?
On football.
Yeah.
But what else is educating anymore?
Right.
See, this is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear the excuses. See, what you're saying was an excuse.
And football is not
always used.
Football is only short time of the year.
We'll use that excuse for football. We'll use that excuse for these fake pagan holidays. We'll use the same excuse. We'll use the same excuse. So I'm gonna just let you go then. I'm gonna let you go. Thumb up the video. Thumb up the video.
Well, when it comes down to football, I mean, it only goes a short period of time. So it's not 365. And when it comes down to the pagan holidays, you know, we can say whatever we say about the pagan holidays, but for those who say the holidays are pagan, are they there with the family members in celebration? Now, you may not believe in the holiday, but if you go in there eating that holiday meal.
No. See, you still.
I'm getting what you're saying. I'm getting what you're saying.
Because you don't want left. I'm not talking about the exact holiday. All I said is the excuse that we make. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying the excuse we can make an excuse for everything. I could go blow somebody's brains out and make an excuse for it.
Oh yeah.
Only thing I'm saying is the excuse part. Now you can celebrate whatever you want to celebrate, but don't make an excuse for it. Mm-hmm. And that's what we do. Now, like you just said, whoever one says a pagan holiday, if you believe in that book, it ain't in none of them books. It ain't in none of them books.
Well, we don't need to get into what's in the book.
No.
We're talking about as an American citizen.
Hold on. You said whoever says it's a pagan holiday. Your book says that. Whoever believes in that book says that. And them the very ones that celebrate.
Oh, wait a minute. What I'm saying to you is the pagan holidays, people are still involved. I mean, even if you took, like, say, for example, I don't believe in Labor Day. Okay, that's a pagan holiday. But I'm having a cookout on this day, this pagan holiday, and everybody comes knowing that this is a pagan holiday. That's what I'm saying, stuff like that.
Okay.
That's what I mean. So if it's Thanksgiving, that's a pagan holiday. But if I make a Thanksgiving dinner, people still come, whether it's pagan or not. It's a time that families get together. That's all I'm saying. It's a time for people to get together and break bread. That's all. That's the only thing I'm saying.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Because that there was part of the glue. When Big Mama was cooking dinner, my grandson had to be here. My nephews got to be here. Tell your sister to come. Tell your friends to come, and that helped people stay together.
But when I came up, that was every weekend.
Well, that's the glue.
That was what y'all call the weekend. I call it strong end now. But
and that's
back then it was weekend. So I'm just gonna say that was every weekend.
And that was the glue, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So we've got to wait from that.
What I'm saying is that it wasn't a holiday. Mm-hmm. It was every weekend.
Yeah, I get that. Never mind the holiday. I'm just saying the fact that families were getting together every weekend that's part of the glue.
Yeah, it was every weekend.
Exactly. Okay. So that's part of the glue. So Mike says, I understand what both you guys are saying. These fake holidays bring families together.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's part of the tradition. That's what we grew up with. We don't just invite people over just because we want to see them. We don't want to just have a family dinner just because we want to see them. Like you say, you guys had yours on the weekends, whether it was a holiday, whatever. That was a beautiful thing. If we could get back to just bringing families together, come over. I'm cooking dinner like my sister does. If we can get back to that, that's a nice, beautiful thing for the Black families to do. And that's a way to find out what the Black families are doing and what is going on in the family. So those are the things that are part of the system in reference to bringing families back together, that glue, the bond, having that matriarch in the family step in and say, this is what we need to be doing now. That's an important thing. And for those of us that are out there that are aging into the space, or even if you haven't aged into the space, if you got enough wisdom and enough knowledge and you're not afraid to communicate to your family, then you step into the role of being the matriarch. The matriarch might be down south. The oldest person in the family may live down south. But what about the oldest person here in Cleveland or whatever city we're living in? That person has got to step up. Has got to take Big Mama's place. That's what it's been like forever. Just like when the father has a son, he should be rearing that son to walk in his shoes and take over where he's leaving off at. Such as in the world of business. You know, when the white people have a business, they start their children off early in the business. So that way, as they get older, they know how to run the company. And sadly enough, they look forward to daddy dying so they can take over. And that's the God's truth. They long for the day that they do hurry up and die so they can step in and take over. That's something to think about, ain't it? Yeah. We want to hand the company over to a child that don't even have any business sense about themselves. And that's going to be the fall of the empire. There is no doubt about it. That will be the fall of the empire. But after you're dead and gone, what does it matter? What does it really matter? But we as a black race, we got to rear our kids early to really walk in our shoes, to know what to do to walk in our shoes. And as a black race, we have failed that. We failed that test in a lot of different ways. So if we're going to put the glue back into the family, we got to glue this situation back like it should be. Not like we want it to be. It's like it should be. Because if it is how it should be, it will be how we want it to be. That's what's real important here. Very important. So it's nice that Mike can see both ends of the spectrum. I can appreciate that. Most definitely. Most definitely. Because that's what's important. We got to get this glue. We got to get the glue back. Because as we talk about, it takes a village to raise children. That's part of the glue.
Yeah, but I'm just, because sometimes going in between them holidays would be too long. You don't even see them.
And that's why I'm saying we got to do it like you did it. Weekly.
It be. You understand what I'm saying? It be too long.
So we need to do it weekly.
Sometimes you don't even see them.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying after that?
So y'all had a good idea with the weekly thing.
Well, I mean, that wasn't our thing. That was how I was brought up. That's
what I'm saying. Yeah. Your family, yeah. Mama, she had that mindset.
Right.
Your grandfather. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know, and
that was beautiful.
Yeah, everybody would be, you know, I lived downstairs, they lived upstairs, and everybody would just, Sundays, we there eating, whether it was warm outside or cold outside.
Right.
We was there eating. You understand what I'm saying?
Breaking bread is everything.
Yeah, we was there eating. You understand what I'm saying? You know, so, you know.
I mean, because when people go out to dinner or they have dinner in their kitchen or wherever they're having dinner, there is a lot of good conversation that goes on. A lot of good conversation. I have never seen anyone go to dinner and have no words. No words.
I don't know about now, because you go out. Well, I ain't been out, you know, really out to dinner in a while, but I'm just saying, you know, from what I hear, everybody's sitting at the table looking at their phones. Even at the dinner table at home. And that's why they got to take the phones from the kids.
Well, that's
when
that
they sit at the dinner and say something.
Right, but that's because the parents are so into their phones.
Well, that's because the parents be in their phones too.
And then, like you said the other day, that's the babysitter.
Yeah, that's it.
So, you know, if we know what's proper, when we were coming up, okay, you could not sit at the dinner table and play. You could not sit at the dinner table and sing.
Mm-hmm.
You had to come to that table after you've washed up.
Yeah.
And then sat down at the table. And it was about proper.
Right.
Doing what is proper.
Yeah.
You're not bringing no toys to the table.
Right. But I had my dog up on the table so he can eat everything.
Well, everybody did.
So he can eat what I don't like. Because you couldn't move until your plate was clear.
Exactly. But at the end of the day.
So what I don't like, I'm putting up on the table to my dog.
But at the end of the day, that was part of the glue that kept you and the dog close.
Yeah.
And the family. We got to get that glue back.
Yeah.
We need that glue. Right. Ron says he agrees with both of us. Thank you, Ron.
Yeah. Okay.
That's one thing. We got to get that glue back.
Yeah. All right. I'm getting tired here.
Yeah, you got to get up early, poor thing.
Yeah. Well, not as early as the last couple of days, though. So.
Oh, okay.
You know.
Well, I got an early day myself.
I'm on. There you go, Mike.
Okay, so Mike is going to start with us. We have to stay the course and keep putting out the information the way Black people should be. Exactly. There you go. There you go.
If you because if you don't see, and that's the problem. It ain't being. It's not being put out there. The buffoonery is being put out there.
Whoa, Lord have mercy. Right, and that's yeah. That
it's
is
not. It's not. You know the stuff I talk about when I'm out there. Sometimes people look like I'm talking Chinese or something. You dig what I'm saying?
Oh God.
You know.
Well, that's because they have no stimulation the right way.
Yeah. Well, you know.
That's the whole thing in a nutshell.
Well, I'm gonna give you a full screen, and you can close out and thumb up the video, thumb up the video, thumb up the video. For anybody to see this after the live, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up. Leave me a comment in the bottom and let me know you subscribe.
Okay. Yes, and I actually thumbed up the video before I came in tonight. And for people out there that have been viewing us and haven't subscribed to the channel yet, make an effort, an honest effort to subscribe to the channel. And I know that there are so many people out there that are getting the messages. And, you know, you may not call in, type in a comment, but I am hoping that you are at least sharing the video or you're just having a conversation about the video, because the more we do that, the more we can start to think about how we're going to bring our families back together. So I don't always necessarily think that it's something that has to happen as far as, the X amount of views. What's important is whoever is viewing, hopefully you will have a conversation about it. That's just as good as viewing. Have a conversation with someone else, because I am always trying to stimulate our minds in the sense of being aware of your situation, your household, your friends, your family, your children. That is my goal. In the modern world of today, though we have our history, we still need to act upon some stuff in the modern world of today, because the modern world of today has destroyed our history. It has destroyed our history. And that is something that until we get a handle on this modern stuff, our history will constantly be pushed back and forgotten, because we're still trying to deal with the modern stuff. So Ron says, I have a brother 1 year older than me. We close, but my other family members not feeling them. Wow. Yeah, we had a conversation about that, Ron. And I am hoping that, somewhere down the line, you will hear me in the back of your head telling you that, we got to do something different, because you know what? Interestingly enough is we could run across a few people that may say to me, well, do you have a sister or do you have a brother? And I want to be able to say, yes, I have a sister. And yes, I had a brother, but he passed away. And if they ask me what kind of relationship I have with my sister, I want to be able to say I have an excellent relationship with my sister. And I'm going to tell them why I have an excellent relationship with my sister. And I am hoping that by me saying that to them, they'll take a look at their siblings and think, wow, you know, I probably should be close with my family members, because they're going to follow our examples. If I hate my brother, there's no reason for them to love their brother. If I don't like my sister, there's no reason for them to start liking their sister. So, you know, we all as siblings have our differences. Absolutely. But we want to make sure the differences are not enough to make us be divided from them. We got to have that respect, and we have to understand that, you know, we're different people, but we're still blood. We're still blood, because our Black race is getting away from just blood. The family is gone. So now the blood is gone. It's going away from us. And I want us to get a hold of that, bring it back. Please, please, all of the people in the audience, that if you have a difference with your siblings, let's try to fix that. Let's make it where we can be in the same room together and we can break bread together. And even if we don't have much to say to the sister next to us, that we don't really have too much to say, but let's keep everything pretty general and basic. And that way we don't have to sort out feelings. We can just embrace what we're doing. So that's my feel on families and coming back together. And we need to do that. I clearly get it, Ron. I clearly get it.
Okay. Well,
okay.
I'm hoping people got something from this tonight. And,
yes.
You know, hit that thumbs up on your way out. Mm-hmm. You ain't got 2 or 3 thumbs up.
Well, I got mine in before I came on.
It is what it is.
Well, they come later, though.
Yeah.
I've noticed that, you know, they come later. And that's a good thing, too.
Okay.
Because it still counts, right, if it comes later.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Now, this is the Feel the Proud of Real TV. Right Black got you. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. And once again, peace and Black power. And I'm out of here.
Okay. Have a good night.
Great evening.